Hey, good morning. This is Sakshi. Today is 26th April and I am here with today's The Hindu newspaper. Let's start reading. So these two articles are not much important. These two deal with Pahalgam terrorist attack. Yes, there is one point that you must know that terrorist attack, the place at which that has happened, in Jammu and Kashmir, there is a place known as Pahalgam. And in Pahalgam itself, there is this place known as Baisaran. Okay, it is a meadow. So this is the exact place where the terrorist attack has taken place. So Baisaran is an important place recently. Apart from that, this news item is important for us. If you can see the person right here, his name is Kasturi Rangan. He was a former ISRO chairman. Recently, he has passed away at the age of 84. So, he had very big contribution in our space sector. So, this is an important news item. You must surely know more about that. There is an upcoming article that totally deals with that. So, we will cover it up later. Okay. This news item, like I guess 1 or 2 weeks back, there was a news that we discussed that was about India's cabinet finalizing 63,000 crore deal for Rafale MJets with France. So India's cabinet approved that deal, and now India and France are to finalize the deal. By the way, this Rafale MJet, this is very important for India's defense sector. So you must surely know that from which country does India have a deal, or does India trade for these Rafale MJets. So France it is. This one is important. Apart from that, here you can see an image. Today is the last ceremonial rites of Pope Francis, who passed away 2 or 3 days back. Here we can see our Honorable President Draupadi Murmu paying homage to Pope Francis. So yes. Apart from that, I guess there can be one-liner question that where did the funeral of Pope Francis take place? So you can remember this place. Its name is Saint Peter's Basilica. Okay, it's in Vatican City itself. So if you want, you can remember that. Okay, this article is about Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan of 1960, which was brokered by World Bank. So we have already discussed about that, but there were few points that were remaining. Let's discuss about Indus River system. Okay, there are 2 types of rivers in Indus River system. First type is Western rivers. Okay, Indus River, Chenab River and Jhelum River are known as Western rivers. Apart from that, there are Eastern rivers. Okay, Ravi, Beas, Satluj. India has exclusive rights over these 3 rivers, that is Eastern rivers. But these 3, okay, Western rivers, India does not have exclusive right. We can use it for, like, we have access to minimal use, as you can say, just for the sake of run of the river. This is the kind of use we are allowed to do. Run of the river is basically a kind of project, you can say. Here, as you can see, there are many projects written. For example, Kishan Ganga project and Baglihar project. So these are example of run of the river projects. Run of the river projects are the kind of projects in which the water of the river is diverted to generate electricity. So we have the access to use the water to generate electricity, but no further use is allowed. And we cannot stop the flow of these rivers by creating any sort of structure on it. Okay, we are not allowed to do that, because if we do that, Pakistan's whole agricultural sector will be blown away, and under that treaty we were not allowed to do that, of course. So here is the data that 80% of Pakistan's cultivated land depend on the Indus system itself. So imagine if we build some kind of infrastructure to stop the water, how would it be? Anyways, I am at no position to discuss this. So yes, now that India has paused the Indus Water Treaty, this means that the periodic communication between India and Pakistan regarding the distribution of the rivers, India is at a position to stop that. If India wants, it can stop the communications that were being held. So yes, we can do that. I have told you about the conflict regarding this particular treaty, but let's again discuss this, that in 2023 India asked Pakistan to renegotiate the treaty because things have changed. The treaty is more than 6 decades old, pretty old, yeah. So yes, India asked to renegotiate the treaty because circumstances have changed. This was our point. Our main ask was that there is a need to evolve a new dispute resolution mechanism because the last one wasn't working that much. So yes, this was our main demand, but of course Pakistan did not pay a heed to us as usual. So yes, and this is about the treaty which we just discussed, that India does not have significant power over the western rivers. We have to maintain water levels at prescribed levels. Okay, these levels are prescribed by Pakistan, so that no flooding or no disruption of Pakistan agriculture happens. So this is the point. We are allowed to carry on run of the river projects on western rivers, and about eastern rivers India has exclusive right. So that is the point. Okay, moving forward. Okay, this was a news item which I genuinely liked. I like, oh my god, this is good, that opposition has extended full support to any action taken by center with respect to Pahalgam terrorist attack. This is such a moral move by our opposition. Here you can see our honorable opposition leader Rahul Gandhi. So if you remember the 1971 Bangladesh liberation war, in that particular war, you must know that our at that time our prime minister was Indira Gandhi and opposition leader was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Even he extended full support to Indira Gandhi for whatever you are doing. Let's fight together for the right of Bangladeshis. So yes, they did that, which resulted in our huge victory, a historic victory. So let's hope for the same, since opposition is supporting ruling party. That's pretty rare in India at least. So yes, coming up we have this small article that deals with cervical cancer. For CLAT and ALET, there are some important genres which you must really pay attention to, and one of those genres is health. And under health, this is a very burgeoning kind of topic, as you can say, cervical cancer. So yes, firstly you must know what is this cervical cancer. So it is a type of cancer, of course, cervical. So it's related to female organs. So yes, that's it. So it is caused by HPV virus. Cervical cancer is caused by HPV virus, and you must know its full form, which is human papilloma virus. I think I should write this. Human papilloma virus. So this particular virus, shortly known as HPV, causes cervical cancer. So this is an important one-liner, since cervical cancer is widely discussed these days. So yes, that's it. So the first HPV test kits, which are indigenously developed in India from scratch, of course, those are being tested, right? You can read this. These test kits are developed by Mole Bio Diagnostics Limited, Bangalore, and My Lab Discovery Solutions Private Limited, Pune. So yes, the process of validation, the process of screening validation was going on regarding these test kits. So WHO's International Agency for Research on Cancer has participated in the screening. This was an important news item. And related to cervical cancer, there is a point which you must know: Cervavac. Okay, where should I write? Here. Cervavac. Cerva stands for cervical cancer. VAC is the short form of vaccine. So this was also developed by India's Serum Institute of India, okay, which is Pune based. But this was developed with the help of other countries, okay. We took help from other countries for its development. But in case of this one, this is our indigenously developed, okay, under the Department of Biotechnology. There is an initiative going on which is known as Grand Challenges India. Under this, Department of Biotechnology has announced that there has been a successful scientific review and validation of India's first indigenously developed HPV test kits. Okay, first indigenously developed, so naturally it is very important. So definitely pay attention to that article, okay. So yes, moving forward, I told you, right, that Kasturi Rangan, we have an upcoming article on him. So this article purely deals with his contributions, okay. There is one point which you must remember, that he was the chairman of ISRO from 1994 to 2003, okay. And between this time frame, there is one very important year, which is 1998, the year when India carried on its Operation Vijay, under which India was declared a nuclear state, right, when we had our nuclear bomb testing, right, at Pokhran range. So that's important. During that time period, when India was officially called a nuclear state by our honorable Prime Minister, so at that time the chairman of ISRO was this guy, Kasturi Rangan. So he has passed away, so naturally this is very important for us. His main motto, his slogan for ISRO was always space for society. He was a social worker, kind of, you can say. By the way, under his chairmanship, there were pretty important tasks, okay. First of all, PSLV and GSLV. Who does not know about this? So ISRO made these two launch vehicles operational. It was under his chairmanship. And also there was a historic lecture, a historic speech given by him on National Technology Day. Very important. National Technology Day in 1999. So you must know why is it historic. I told you right that in 1998 India became a nuclear state, right? We carried on Operation Vijay and we were declared a nuclear state. It took place on 11th May 1998. That is an important day. Whatever. So that's an important day. And from the next year itself, that is from 1999, from next year, we started celebrating this May 11th as National Technology Day. So the first time in history National Technology Day was being held. This person, Kasturi Rangan, delivered a historic lecture. So that's why his lecture was important. And also this National Technology Day is like, do not underestimate this date. This is very, very important. Also there is a significant development, like this would count in current affairs part. Last year Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar was started. So there is this thing about Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. You must know that it is announced that who all are the winners of the particular Puraskar. These are announced on 11th May and the awards are given on 23rd August. So 11th May we know is National Technology Day and 23rd August is National Space Day. Okay, so you must know this is very, very important. So we have come to our editorial part. These editorials are very, very general in nature. Okay, so first editorial, let's discuss it. This is important because recently there was this Nutrition for Growth Summit which took place at Paris. So this can be an important one-liner, since all the examinations are so obsessed with asking about summits. This is an important one-liner. They can ask you, where did Nutrition for Growth Summit took place? So Paris. So there is a historic decision was taken. There was this United Nations Decade of Action on Nutrition, which was originally, the decade was from 2016 to 2025, but this year we extended the time frame 5 years ahead. Okay, we have extended it to 2030, so it's important. So here what writer says is that we need to change our approach to food literacy. We must shift our focus beyond food excess. Merely food excess is not sufficient. We need to teach people, especially children, about nutrition rich food. Okay, food excess is good, but nutrition driven food excess is what we want. So specifically he is focusing on children. Okay, you can guess from the title itself that teaching children to eat well must begin in school. So we must start giving the children food literacy from school itself. What nutritions should they take? What are the elements which they should avoid, such as excess sugar, fats, and all those things? All these must begin from school itself. That's what the writer demands. And why is he focusing on children? Why not other aged people? So he has clarified that here, that good nutrition during the childhood of a child, that would help him or her catch up on growth. Okay, growth matters, right? And also that would be you can say foundation for their long-term health. If they start eating nutrition rich food from their childhood, it would definitely be a habit, right? And then it would have a very very positive impact on their long-term health. That's what he says. So it's very very easy article, you can surely read this by yourself. But yes, remember this point is important. Okay, this is a part of your current affairs, do not skip this. Other things are for the perspective of passage, if passage is given in examination like this, so you can do that. Okay, next article we have is about India's creative ecosystem. It's something related to creativity, right? Make waves. Okay, pay attention to these waves. There is a waves summit. Okay, full form is written here, World Audio Visual Entertainment Summit. It is going to take place in India, that's why it is very important for us. It is scheduled for May 2025 in Mumbai. So naturally important for us, as the name suggests, it deals with entertainment, creativity, things like that. And it is being hosted by India's media and entertainment sector. Okay, so this is the point. This part created your current affairs section, and the rest are writer's opinion. So you can easily read this. Writer is arguing that India has a demographic advantage, we have technological capabilities, we have rich culture. So generally worldwide, countries see India as a flourishing hub of creativity. And if they do not see us like that, we can surely be a global creative powerhouse. We must teach our youth to work on their creativity. So yes, this is what writer says about Wave Summit. Writer has described it as a convergence of technology and storytelling, things like that. So yes, writer is basically urging us to be creative, right? Things like that. So yeah, pretty simple, you can read this. Apart from that, this article, this deals with US Iran. We know talks are being held between them about Iran's nuclear policy. So you may or may not read this, that's not very important, I would say. But if you want, you can read this. But okay, here this is again about Pakistan and the Pahalgam attack that it has committed on us. So again, I would say if you want, you can read, but if you are low on time, skip that. Okay, next we have this. A statement by Donald Trump. What he has said is Crimea will stay with Russia. So you must know this Crimea conflict, so as to what is it actually. Crimea is basically a peninsular area. Here it is written, I believe. Yes, Crimea is a strategic peninsula along the Black Sea. So name of the sea is very important. Okay, sometimes in examinations they will give you a question in which they will give you a name of the territory and ask you that along which river is it located or situated, things like that. So you must remember the name of this sea, which is Black Sea. Okay, so Crimea is located in southern Ukraine, as you can see. So what happened is that before 2014, Crimea was a part of Ukraine. Okay, southern Ukraine, Crimea was a part of Ukraine. In 2014, what Russia did was that it captured Crimea. Russia justified its act by saying that it is working in favor in order to protect the interests of Russian speaking people there and things like that. But yes, the main thing was that Russia captured Crimea in 2014, important one. And then in 2022, Russia launched a full-fledged uh, attempt to invade Ukraine. We know that Russia-Ukraine war started in 2022. So this is the point here. Donald Trump is saying that Crimea will stay with Russia since Russia has captured it. So things like that. You must know the background, the historical aspect of the news. Okay, avoid statements by political leaders, but do try to know the backstory. So that's it. We are done with today's newspaper. Thank you so much for watching. Jai Hind.